to show you how it feels?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe does a good job of introducing a wide range of characters from all flows of life, so it was a bit weird that there wasn't a single leading Asian superhero in over a decade. Considering the huge markets in China, India and Japan, this was an anomaly. But for each problem, there's a Kevin Feige. So after much deliberation and fan movement, Marvel let the floodgates open and completely embraced their Asian roots with Shang-Chi.
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 Granted, he wasn't the most popular comic book hero, but Marvel had a secret weapon to popularize Shang-Chi, Mandarin, and the myth of the Ten Rings. The film worked wonders for Disney in theaters and pretty much confirmed that there won't be another messy fiasco like ScarJo's streaming contract. So today we're going to take a look at all the moments in Shang-Chi that made us go... Now, this was one hell of a surprise. The Shang-Chi poster building up to the release had a small silhouette of Abomination fighting over the San Francisco bridge. It was subtle, but it was enough to get us hyped for real. On the other hand, everyone knew Wong would be in the movie, but no one thought they'd actually pit Wong against the Abomination. But crazy heads at Marvel, man, they did it. They put these two in a cage to fight for their life. It's easy to guess who's gonna win, right? On one side, you have a gamma-infused monster that beat the crap out of Hulk, and on the other, Doctor Strange's sidekick. Damn right, it's my boy Wong who absolutely annihilates Abomination without even breaking a sweat. All he had to do was position his portals in a way so that Abomination was just hitting himself. I guess you could say he used Abomination to destroy Abomination. This takes the why you're hitting yourself meme to the next level. But it's cool where Wong has a secret life where he's friends with Abomination and fights in underworld cages. But this matchup, man, it was random.
How's the jar?
Now that we're talking about cage fights in shady undergrounds, let's just continue with it. After the Wong versus Abomination duel, it's time for some sibling love. Xialing comes in to fight Shang-Chi because money talks. It's not like the brother and sister have seen each other growing up anyway. Shang-Chi doesn't want to fight his sister, but too bad, Xialing's in the mood to rumble. She flies, punches, and beats the absolute crap out of her brother. This was a legit fight because Xialing didn't pull her punches, and Shang-Chi's not just going to stand there and get beaten to a pulp. So even though Xialing had the upper hand, Shang-Chi showed his mad kung fu skills off as well. On top of that, there was the surprise element. Why the F are they even fighting? I tried to figure it out initially, but then I thought, nah, let's just get the popcorn and enjoy them beating each other up. Katy, she was the comic relief in a Marvel film. Yeah, a film that's already light and funny has a comic relief that's actually even funnier. But she's not just Shang-Chi's super chill best friend / love interest, because when the time came, she shot a 1 in a million shot that would put even Hawkeye to shame. So Wenwu's coming with his 10 rings to destroy Ta Lo, but the villagers won't have any of it. So they start training and Katy joins in on the act. Imagine knowing you might die in 2 days' time and picking up a bow and arrow to protect yourself anyway. I'm totally not throwing shade at Hawkeye, but come on, man. Your enemy's thousands of years old and you've had like 2 training sessions before a fight. You thought Katy would just embarrass herself in the battle? Think again. When the going got tough, Katy got going. When the Dweller in Darkness is about to hit the Great Protector with the biggest Godzilla blast, Katy shoots right through the throat. If there was ever a perfect bullseye, Katy just hit it from a distance that was impossible for someone who just picked up an arrow yesterday. Plot armor thicker than Kim's butt, yeah? Okay, from death, mayhem, and destruction, let's move on to love. Love is what drives the film, and it's amazing to see how the two lovers are absolutely ready to kill each other in their first fight. Wenwu has had a lust for power and wealth for centuries, and in his quest to be the true god, he's now looking for the mythical village of Ta Lo. He finds the village to enter alright, but he also enters something else. Guarding the village is a mysterious woman who's, let's just say, enough to make you kill your children. Wenwu needs to enter, but Yingli ain't moving. The classic unstoppable force versus immovable object. We expected something kick-ass here, but instead got almost a poetic fight between the two. The stunts looked gorgeous. The choreography was spot on, and the chemistry between the two, exquisite. I don't know if this was their foreplay or something, because I ain't here to kink shame the Mandarin. Dude still has the bone, doesn't he? Staying hungry for power for 1,000 years, that's gotta have some effect, right? Now we've got the big bad fight. It's the prodigal son versus the criminal father. Gotta be Marvel's favorite family structure. But this wasn't just a rad fight, it had an emotional pull to it too. Wenwu came to the wall only to be deceived by the Dweller in Darkness. He thought it was his wife who was calling, but it turned out to be a monster. Gotta love the middle-aged dad humor of the scriptwriters, yeah? Shang-Chi tries to stop his dad, but he's not a match for a 1,000-year-old tyrant. He tries hard though, so we should give him credit for that. But what stands out is how evil Wenwu was in his determination to absolutely kill Shang-Chi if it meant he could get his wife back. This was exhilarating to watch, but the best part obviously came when Wenwu realized the hell he unleashed on Earth and gave his rings to Shang-Chi. In a bid to make everything right, he sacrifices himself for the cause, and this is how another Marvel villain redeems himself once again before death. This was the peak Marvel fight sequence, something that would remind you of Captain America the Winter Soldier. Shang-Chi, Katy and Xialing are planning to make a dash when the 10 rings get the better of them. In a bid to save their asses, they do hardcore parkour on the scaffold of the big tower. They're outnumbered, they've got no ammunition, and they're up against certain death. The hand-to-hand combat scenes are top-notch here, and there's a real sense of dread. I mean, it's just halfway through the film, so you know none of them are going to die right now, but the fights were so good that you just can't ignore the tension. Shang-Chi and Xialing give us a masterclass in kung fu fights and just told us why they're the children of the Mandarin.
Let's get started. We have a lot of work to do.
Okay, so now the big twist. With the death of Wenwu, everyone thought the ghost of Mandarin would die, but here comes Xialing. Like her father, she couldn't just ignore the pull of all the weapons, powers and money, but she's one step ahead of her father. She's not here to continue the legacy, she's here to make her own. All her life, she'd been ignored by her father for being a woman. Shang-Chi got all the love while Xialing had to fight for her scraps. But now that she's achieved her goals, she's ready to make her own version of Mandarin. We see women training, something Wenwu would never have allowed. So it was nice to see that, but then she turned total evil and started dealing in weapons. If anything, it creates a very compelling arc for Xialing to be the villain in later films. Shang-Chi has never wanted to fight his sister and already got whooped by her in the cage, so it'll be interesting to see how he reacts knowing his sister is the new Mandarin handle. Smells a lot like a sequel to me.
They're waiting. They don't match any artifacts from our codex.
If you thought Xialing's transformation into the villain was shocking, you clearly haven't been paying attention now, have you? In typical Marvel fashion, the post-credit scene literally blew us away with awesome cameos. Turns out Shang-Chi and Katy's little escapade didn't go unnoticed by Wong. He briefs the Sorcerer Supreme and they pop by to tell the duo what they've done. The 10 rings are made of mysterious elements, something strange can't make sense of. They'll need to understand what the rings can truly do, and they want Shang-Chi to stay vigilant. Apart from Mandarin and Trevor Slattery, there weren't many connections to the larger MCU throughout the movie, and that's probably a good thing. But the way the post-credit scene nicely tied up the film with a bigger MCU, well, it sets up the Shang-Chi lore for huge success in years to come.
You can get my number from Bruce. It was so nice to meet you.
Yeah, I don't have her number.
What's Marvel without the big CGI fights? And just like a true Marvel movie, Shang-Chi goes batshit crazy at the end with a full-blown kaiju fight. The Dweller in Darkness enters the Earth dimension and pretty much makes its presence felt immediately. He has his minions flying in droves and stealing souls. Not the most unique villain if you're a Potterhead, but at least the threat looks real here. There's really not much to discuss about the end fight, just watch Marvel flexing their CGI muscles at full scale. The entire sequence looks gorgeous with edge-of-the-seat camera angles, fast fast-paced action and suspense. It does look a bit jarring, considering the rest of the film's being built on great action set pieces, but hey, I paid to watch a Marvel film on the big screen, so there's nothing to complain about here. I haven't seen a better action sequence in the MCU for a very long time. Shang-Chi's been living a nice little life in the US, slacking around and doing pretty much nothing. But when your mafia father calls, you gotta show up, right? Not if you're Shang-Chi. So Wenwu sends his muscle to get the stone from Shang-Chi, but little did he know that his son is a total beefcake now who can land some serious punches. The bus fight was totally rad. It's like Keanu Reeves in Speed, but on Marvel steroids. It was fast, stylish, and anything could happen at any moment. Imagine a bus running at full speed downtown and you've only got your kick-ass punches to protect everyone from a Hercules with a freaking machete for a hand. Sounds like a Monday for Shang-Chi, right? The bus fight at the beginning hinted what's to come, and all I can say is, it wasn't disappointing. So between a mediocre Black Widow and a disastrous Eternals, Shang-Chi along with Loki has been the highlight of Marvel this year. Many thought it would turn into cultural appropriation, but Shang-Chi's Asian roots have been explored in this movie with style. Like the video and share it with your Marvel clan to discuss the best Shang-Chi moment. Don't forget to subscribe to the TV Regent because we're going to make a whole lot of MCU content for ya.